This is the situation the country always finds herself every 5 years after elections. Demonstrations and electoral crisis characterizes the process. In 2007, ensuing post-poll chaos led to the formation of the Serena mediation team under Kofi Annan that consequently led to the formation of the Grand Coalition. The 2013 and 2017 post-poll violence led to the birth of the handshake between retired President Uhuru Kenyatta and former Premier Raila Odinga. All remains a political process that appears not to solve the perennial issue, but silent talks on whether it's time the country has a national dialogue remains a thorny issue amongst Kenyans.
A national dialogue that people want, they want to have a dialogue with money in their pocket. They want to have a dialogue with food on the table. They want to have a dialogue where their children can go to school.
Kiujumla ukiangalia tu ni maslahi yao. IBC, unaelewa? IBC directly inamhusu nani? Ni mwanasiasa. Unaelewa? Na tatizo lingine ambalo tuko nalo hapa nchini Kenya, hatuamini taasisi zetu. Sisi ndio tumetengeneza katiba, sisi ndio tumependekeza tuwe na IBC, na tena hiyo IBC bado tunaona ni kama haifanyi vile inavyohitajika.
We gave ourselves a law in the Constitution 2010. It's barely 10 years, slightly over 10 years. Of course, we are yet to do an audit on the Constitution and see if it's working as we purposed and if it can actually be retweaked here and there. So, if we're going to have a national dialogue, how, for example, do you have a national dialogue on the cost of living? Do you have the cost of living on the other side and then Kenyans on this side? Because it is the fight between Kenyans and the cost of living.
Stakeholders have put a fronted spirit with requests to be included in the talks as the political crisis appears to have ripple effect on various sectors.
We can be of different opinion. Advisor comes now, people that are giving opinions to the government and also giving goodwill, international community and also the church. The church cannot be ignored because, or even the religious organizations cannot be ignored because they really played a big part. They actually play a really big part when it comes to political goodwill.
Tumeona dakika za mwisho wa maandamano, kila mtu alikuwa anauliza where are the religious leaders. Everyone was asking why is it that the religious leaders are not, trying to mediate between them. Naelewa, and we've been there, we've been trying to mediate, tumejaribu, japo ilikuwa ni kwa chini na nini.
Hata sisi viongozi wa kidini tuwekwe ndani, tuwe sehemu ya hizo mazungumzo, ndio tupeane mawaidha, kwa sababu we are independent bodies. Sisi hatuna mwenye siasa ambao tunaegemea. Sisi ni independent na tunataka tulete independent mind.
Wahusishe viongozi na wakubali maoni ya viongozi wa kidini. Maana ni mwelekeo wa Mungu, anataka tuende vipi kama taifa.
Religious leaders harbor the thought that their exclusion could end up calming the temperatures between the two camps while ensuring issues of mwananchi are factored during the talks. But this has been interpreted as taking advantage of the situation, whereas they kept their silence when the crisis was spiraling.
Tumezoea kuweka siasa katika mambo yote, na lile ambalo lingekuwa la muhimu ni tuweze kuweka maslahi ya wananchi mbele.
Are you sure they are showing up when there is an opportunity to talk for the nation? They want to talk for the country, really? They've been silent when people have been going to the streets, for example. They've been silent when people are dying. They've been silent when government has been trying to explain what it's doing. But just because now there is an opportunity where they can actually probably have their end, they are resurrecting their careers.
And the cosmopolitan nature of our country today, I think we shouldn't even divide ourselves within the tribal lines. I think what leaders should do is to look at the developmental agendas and how best they can be able to pull their people if really they are into those tribal lines.
Kenyans are also bearing the blame over the caliber of leaders they elect to public offices, as majority have integrity issues.
Chapter 6, for me, is one of those, I've said repeatedly, is one of those parts in the Constitution that we need to delete because we are not serious about it. We are pretending as a nation that we want this, but when it comes to effecting, we skirt around it. So, in the spirit of national honesty, probably we should just delete Chapter 6 in the Constitution.
Martin Opio, K24 TV, Nairobi.